On NBC's Meet the Press, hosted by Chuck Todd, there was a discussion around some crazy candidate that is running in West Virginia, and you're going to see a clip of him. And I have, I have a little bit to say about him, but there was an offhand remark made by Danielle Pletka, who's the senior vice president, foreign and defense policy studies at American Enterprise Institute, where she compared Jeremy Corbyn to some whack job American candidates. So watch the clip.
Back now with Endgame. Before we get to your book, because it gets us back on the topic, I want to quickly talk about the fact that on Tuesday, I talked about in Data Download, is the first multi-state primary day, Bob Costa. And we're learning about the hugging of Donald Trump and Trumpian-like figures. There's nobody who probably more is emblematic of this era of kooky candidates than this gentleman in West Virginia, Don Blankenship, who has served
Swamp Captain Mitch McConnell has created millions of jobs for China people. The war to drain the swamp and create jobs for West Virginia people has begun. I will beat Joe Manchin and ditch Cocaine Mitch for the sake of the kids.
Now, a kooky candidate is not new in a race, but a kooky candidate with a chance to win is new.
It's funny, you know, we spent many, many years railing against the idea of a smoke-filled room and that political parties would pick people. When political parties picked people, this kind of stuff didn't happen. This is what elevates the Roy Moores, the Blankenships, the Jeremy Corbyns in the UK, right, is this sort of ability to engage in a populist message, and then, of course, they're complete whack jobs once they get in the job.
Okay. There are a few different things I want to comment on here. Now, the first is the Don Blankenship. This guy running in West Virginia who, there's something off about him, clearly. But I just want to mention one point here, and that's so some people are saying that he's a racist or he's a bigot because he's saying China people. I don't know the guy well enough to judge either way what his views are in that sense, but I wouldn't base it off China people, because he also says West Virginia people. He doesn't know how to say West Virginians. So this leads me to believe that he just doesn't know how to say the word Chinese. This guy's weird. Apparently Donald Trump even knows more than this guy, because I think Donald Trump has likely said West Virginians and not West Virginia people or China people. I don't know. You know what? Maybe not. The point is, this guy's a weirdo. But that aside, now that we know that this guy's a weirdo, let's go to, before I get to the Jeremy Corbyn part, Danielle Pletka here says, quote, "When political parties pick people, this kind of stuff didn't happen." She's openly advocating for an oligarchy. I mean, forget democracy, forget voting for your candidates. No. People in power, they should be picking the candidates because this kind of stuff doesn't happen. What do you think would happen if the parties picked the people that ran? Which, you know what, they do. You know what happens? Hillary Clinton happens. Hillary Clinton lost. People don't want these sorts of candidates. So the Republican Party, the Republican primary, in a weird sense, they were actually less corrupt in their primary process than the Democratic Party was. So they allowed the process to take place. Donald Trump beat 17 other candidates to win the primary and become the leader of the Republican Party. The DNC picked Hillary Clinton. They did everything they could to put their thumb on the scale to make sure that she won. And she ended up losing to an orange clown that was picked by the people. Now, if Bernie ran, all polling on election day and all polls running up to the primaries and after the primaries showed that Bernie Sanders would defeat Donald Trump by a large margin. But he wasn't allowed to because the party picked Hillary Clinton. So if we actually allowed the people to pick the candidates, you know what? Good candidates would win. But we didn't allow that, only on one side. So what ended up happening was a shitty candidate won because the shitty candidate was picked by the people versus a candidate who was not picked by the people and was picked by the powerful. Now, and you know, even apart from all that, apart from 2016, democracy is democracy. You need people, the actual voters, the people that live in the country voting for who represents them. You don't need an oligarchy where there are people at the top, the powerful, the wealthy, picking the candidates. And yeah, in many ways, that already exists in the U.S., but you can't get to a place where you are openly advocating for that, because then you just dig the hole deeper. Now, let's get to maybe the the worst part of this whole clip, but this offhand remark where Danielle Pletka, again, I don't know who this person is, but she's randomly on television sometimes and doesn't ever make any good points from what I've seen. She brings up Don Blankenship, Roy Moore, and Jeremy Corbyn. As if Don Blankenship, this whack job, Roy Moore, a pedophile, as if they're the same as Jeremy Corbyn in the UK. You know what? Jeremy Corbyn, who wants to give under 25s free bus travel, just like a pedophile. Yes, Jeremy Corbyn, who wants to buy 8,000 properties for homeless people. What a racist. Yes, Jeremy Corbyn, who wants to put more money into the National Healthcare Service. What a whack job. You know what? In America, there are real candidates like Hillary Clinton and Mitt Romney, multi-millionaires who protect the best interests of the rich and the powerful. That's who you should be voting for. Or you know what? Don't vote for them, because us as the party, the powerful, we're going to pick the candidates for you and tell you who to vote for. That's democracy? Yeah. These people are so out of touch. To compare Jeremy Corbyn to a racist pedophile. Look, and Chuck Todd said nothing. Didn't stop her. Actually, I think he said the word right after she said that. Nobody stopped her and was like, "Hey, wait. You just compared Blankenship, a guy with some clear issues, and Roy Moore, an actual pedophile. You compared these two candidates to Jeremy Corbyn, a candidate, the leader of the UK Labour Party, who just wants to invest more money into public health services. How can you possibly justify this?" So this is what, look, who knows if it's intentional or unintentional, but this is what the media does. They try to attach, they try to have this thing where it's, both sides are crazy. Yeah, the right is crazy and the left are crazy. There is no equal to Roy Moore on the right. There is no equal to Roy Moore on the left. There just isn't. Jeremy Corbyn is not Roy Moore. Anybody with half a brain could see that. But because they are so, they try so hard to act like the left is just as crazy as the right, they'll make these sorts of comparisons that just make no sense. So understand, they are building a narrative against socialism. They are building a narrative against the best interests of people. That's exactly what she was doing right here. Oh, well, if we were picking the leaders in smoke-filled rooms, we wouldn't have these sorts of people. These crazy guys like Jeremy Corbyn. More money into healthcare? No. We can't have that. No. We are benefiting from the status quo, so we will continue to push the status quo and make sure that anybody challenging us is just equated to a whack job on the right. So understand what you're watching. Understand what this is. This is complete bullshit. This is done to sow divisions. This is done to make you think that Jeremy Corbyn or people on the left are just as crazy as people on the right, when what we actually want to do on the left is help people. The vast majority of people in these Western nations are hurting. They're living in poverty. They don't know where the next meal is. They can't afford an emergency. So we want to transform the system from capitalism, which is destroying the lives of people all over the world, to a system that benefits the vast majority of people. Now, if you think that is the same as a racist pedophile, then I don't know what to say. You just don't have your head screwed on right. So know what you're watching and understand that these people are not fighting for you. They're fighting for themselves. Hey, if you like this video, hit that subscribe button below and consider throwing me a few bucks on Patreon at patreon.com/therationalnational or therationalnational.com/join.